Okay, so hi everybody. Welcome to our class on essential oils for pets. I'm Donna Barrett, and this is
Sherry Lohman.
So we're here today to share with you. Sherry is a pet owner. She's got 3 dachshunds. I am actually maybe going to be adopting a dog soon, but I've been a dog and cat owner in the past. And so we have a little presentation for you guys, and I'm going to share my screen right now. It's on PowerPoint. Here we go. Come on.
There we go.
So, essential oil safety for pets with Sherry Lohman and Donna Barrett. So, just to give you a quick intro, Sherry and I met. We're both doTERRA dealers, and we met in Utah when I went over there this year for convention, and we just realized that we just have a connection, her and I. It's just like we're 2 sisters from different mothers, I swear. So this is us, that's the best picture we have. Next year when I go for convention, we'll get a better picture, I promise. Okay, just to note, this class is for educational purposes only. You should never substitute this for care from your professional veterinarian. Always discuss it with him first before you do anything different. That's just our little note to you guys. And okay, so I'm going to skip over the essential oil stuff, right, Sherry? And just into the class.
Right. And I'm sorry, what was your name?
Meryl. This is
Meryl. Okay. Sorry, I missed that somehow.
Yeah, hi.
Okay.
I'm sorry. This is Meryl that's joining us for the class. And of course, all of you out there who are going to be watching the recording, welcome. Okay, so we used this book, The Healing Power of Essential Oils by Dr. Eric Zielinski, for reference information for this class. He is actually one of my favorite doctors to follow. I think that he's awesome. He is not brand oriented. He just looks at the oils and he tells you what the best oils are to use. So you know that you're getting a third party opinion, and I just love him. I think he's great. So I just wanted to give a little push for his book there in case anybody's interested. So, Sherry, how about I'll read one slide, then you read the next? I think we didn't.
Sounds good.
So I'll start here, being that I'm doing all the talking so far. So what do pet owners need to know about essential oils? Okay, essential oils are highly concentrated, lipid-soluble, volatile, aromatic compounds distilled from plants. As we all know, not all essential oils are the same, so it's important to know the quality of the essential oil. Oils in the market are perfume grade. These are the oils that you're usually buying on Amazon, so you always need to be careful. So even though they might say they are 100% pure, they often contain extenders or other substances in addition to the essential oil that is toxic to small animals like dogs and cats. So like I said, you always want to make sure that you're using a certified grade therapeutic oil. High quality essential oils can greatly benefit your pets, both emotionally and physically. Sharon?
Okay, what do pet owners need to know about essential oils? As essential oils are lipid soluble, they can be are lipid soluble. They can be absorbed into cells through the cell membrane. This is just one reason why they're so powerfully effective. Since they are distilled from plants, and no 2 plants are the same, essential oils do not show the same bacteria resistance as some of our synthetically made therapies. There is a lot of research available that shows that many essential oil constituents have antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, and if I'm pronouncing this correctly, anti-humoral and antioxidant.
I think they were talking about tumors there. I looked that up on actually on Google because I didn't hear that word either before myself. Sorry.
No, that's fine. So you're up, Miss Donna.
Okay. Okay, so here's some tips. Always remember to dilute when using the oils topically on your animals. This is especially important for dogs, small animals, and your cats. Remember, each animal is an individual, and your pet might be more or less sensitive than others to different oils. Do not ever use the oils in the eyes, the ears, the nose, or the genitals of your pet. If your pet has long ears, be careful not to put the essential oils on the ends of the ears, because if they shake their head, it could cause the oil to go in their eyes. As we recommend with this human, in the event that oil accidentally goes into the eyes or seems to be uncomfortable, dilute it with a good carrier oil. Never use water. And just to state to you guys, a carrier oil would be fractionated coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil. Any oil, like a good quality oil, is good enough as a carrier oil. So just always remember that with yourself as well as with your pets.
Safety tips for dogs and cats. Use a water diffuser for aromatic use and allow your pet to roam freely with an open door to the room. And this is pretty important. You don't want to close it off so your pet can come and go. It's important not to leave them in the room when diffusing. Observe your pet's behavior. Discontinue use if your pet shows any sign of distress, drooling, squinting, rubbing their face, vocalization, shaking, vomiting, or diarrhea. Most reactions resolve, though, within 24 to 48 hours. Caution should be used around animals that are pregnant, nursing, very young, or on certain medications.
Okay, next up. Do not use oils topically on your pet if you use topical medication or a dermal patch, including topical flea and tick preventatives. Do not give any of the products containing xylitol, like that would be something in toothpaste or beadlets, etc., to your pet. Make sure you only use therapeutic grade essential oils, which we stated before. We can't really stress that enough. It's very important. And know your pet's health status.
Here we go, Meryl. Kitty cats. They lack an enzyme in their liver that's important in metabolism of many types of things. It makes them very susceptible to all kinds of toxicity, including plants, NSAIDs, as an example, aspirin, ibuprofen, Tylenol, chocolate, of course, and caffeine, lead, zinc, and many, many, many types of pesticides.
Okay, and then there's a pretty long list here of oils to avoid when you have cats. So oils to avoid both internally and topically are oils that are high in phenols or ketones, such as basil, birch, cinnamon, clove, cypress, dill, fennel, all citrus oils, melaleuca or tea tree oil, oregano, peppermint, thyme, rosemary, spearmint, vetiver, white fir, and wintergreen. I know that's a big, long list, guys, but the rest of the oils should be okay for them to use according to Dr. Z.
And these are the oils you should avoid with dogs. A little bit shorter. There are many different sizes of dogs, obviously, and in general, the smaller the dog, the more you want to dilute the essential oil. Oils to avoid are birch, melaleuca, again, tea tree, wintergreen, and use caution with hot oils such as oregano, cassia, cinnamon, clove, rosemary, and thyme.
Yeah, those oils especially you would want to dilute You know, that's the same with us also. Like, you know, never put straight oregano on your, you know, on yourself without diluting it first. It's pretty, it's a great oil, but it's very strong.
Yes.
And of course, again, if you did do something like that, always remember, you just put your olive oil or your fractionated coconut oil on top right away. If it feels like a little sensitive to your skin, and it'll fix it right up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for pets with a seizure or bleeding disorder, there are some oils that should be avoided for pets with seizure disorder. That would be basil, black pepper, camphor, eucalyptus, fennel, hyssop, sage, rosemary, and wintergreen. Those all, some of those are the hot oils, but yeah, you have to be careful with those. And then pets with bleeding disorders or have difficulty with clotting or being treated with an anticoagulant should avoid topical application of oils such as birch, cassia, cinnamon, clove, fennel, oregano, and wintergreen. And again, I think that's a lot of the hot oils that we just mentioned a few minutes ago.
Essential oil remedies for common animal ailments. Allergies. For dogs, it's advisable to carefully give frankincense, lemon, lavender, and peppermint 2 or 3 times a day with the animals on their feet, in addition to omega-3 supplementation. It is always a good idea to work with your veterinarian to determine the cause of the existing allergy. Fear-based issues, behavioral issues such as separation anxiety, thunder, storm anxiety, fear, or fear-based aggression. Diffuse common oils with either lavender or lavender and vetiver over their fur. For the vetiver, again, use caution with kitty cats with that. Just make sure it is not in a place where the animal can lick it off. For ear infections, clean your pet's ears regularly with a natural ear cleaner, and then apply 0.5 to 1% blend of basil, frankincense, geranium, and lavender around the base of your pet's ears for additional support.
Okay, the next slide is the neoplasia. After consulting with a veterinary oncologist, try 0.5% to 1% dilution topically with frankincense and sandalwood. For seizures, adding 1 or 2 drops of frankincense to their food 2 times a day, along with the omega-3 supplementation. And for transitions, meaning like, you know, if they have a big change in their life, a new house, a new pet coming in, something that's going to, you know, a new baby, diffusing calming oils and applying a 0.5% to 1% blend of lavender and myrrh is actually very good. Okay, Sherry, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and Sherry's going to share a couple of recipes for pets. So let me stop my sharing, and we'll wait for you to get on, Sherry.
Okay.
Oh, are you ready?
No.
Oh, okay, because I was just going to say, I just wanted to share something that I saw in a magazine. It was really cute.
Yeah, go right ahead.
So while you're getting ready, I'll just talk. I love to talk. Your dog loves it when you smile. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's really, really cute. Look at this lady smiling at her dog. So I'm just going to read it to you. Yes, you really should smile at your dog and cat, I would think. According to a new study from Finland's University of Helsinki, your grin gives your pooch a boost in the feel-good hormone oxytocin. Oxytocin. I'm sorry. And that's important researchers say.
Oxytocin.
Oxytocin, thank you.
You're welcome.
Fosters trust in humans and animals, strengthening your bond with your dog. That's a problem for me. You know, sometimes I read stuff and I never hear it pronounced. So, That's my little tip for the day.
Okay, I thought I'd talk about just a couple of blends that I use personally for my dachshunds. My kitty cat's an indoor, so I don't have to worry about her. But I can look up something real quick, Meryl. Is your cat an indoor or an outdoor cat?
Mainly an indoor cat. She only got out for the first time like 5 days ago.
Oh,
How old is she? How
What?
old is she, Meryl?
She's I rescued her, so I'll say she's a little over 2.5.
Okay. Still a little bit of a baby.
So,
okay,
but I like to keep her an indoor cat. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, our kitty's 15 and she's a little freaked. We live up in the mountains and she's a little freaked out about everything up here. And we also have a lot of things that could get her, hawks and porcupines and bobcats and things that kind of wander into the yard. So I'm not real comfortable letting her out. But so anyway, we don't really do the insect repellent on her, but our dogs are like everywhere. We have like a fenced in area. It's about a half an acre. And I just take a little small bottle. I want to say maybe 10-ounce spray bottle. And I add equal amounts, about maybe 10 drops each of lemongrass, peppermint, cedarwood, and arborvitae. And then I fill the rest of it up with water, shake it up, and then I just spray their bellies and spray their backs, rub it in really good before they go outside. If your kitty cat does want to go outside, you can use
She does.
pretty much the same thing. It's lemongrass, arborvitae, or cedar wood, and it's good for mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks.
Okay.
So those are two things that I use quite frequently. My dogs, we just recently bought this house, and my dogs chew on the mulch that is all around the house, and we're trying to remove it, but they eat it. And unfortunately, and I think one of my dogs eats a lot of it, and he's constantly licking his little behind. So I made up an itch remedy of lavender and water and lemongrass, I believe, and I shake it up and I just spray and he instantly stops. So those are my two go-to. And then I have, oh gosh, I could sit here and talk forever, but we don't want to do that. I have, one of my dachshunds had a, what do you call it? A burst disc, which they're kind of prone to. They have a herniated disc. And bless his heart, this was like 3 years ago, he was paralyzed from that disc, the L5 down, and just kind of drug his back legs and no urinary control. And the vet was trying to get us to, encouraging us to put him down, or there's a pretty expensive surgery that you can do on them, but there's no guarantee. And we'd had him at that point for 10 years and I thought I couldn't do it. So I started using, one of my mentors in doTERRA has, she says, pretty much in remission, MS, and she used frankincense and peppermint on her legs constantly to rejuvenate. And she said, Sherry, try that. So I did. I made up a blend of frankincense and peppermint, and when I started using it, he was on like so many pain meds. It just made me so sad. And obviously not good for his liver. And I just started rubbing this frankincense and peppermint. I put it together with fractionated coconut oil, and I would gently rub it on either side of his spine. And he walks now. I mean, I got him off all meds, and he walks kind of goofy. His back legs kind of go straight, but I am convinced in my heart it was the frankincense and the peppermint, because we take him off one med, and then we took him off another med, and then we took him off another med, and that's been 3 years ago. And we live up here in the mountains, and he toodles all over the place. He's not in pain. During that 3-year period, we had one flare-up, but I just increased the peppermint and the frankincense and did hot and cold compresses. And I don't want to say he's good as new, but he's walking, and he's not in pain. So, anytime anything happens to my animals, I have this essential oils for dogs and cats book, and this is my Bible. And then I use a couple others. I would be interested, Meryl, in finding out the name of the book. You said that your friend wrote a book for animals.
It's called Oils for Animals, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would love to get my hands on that, because any references?
Mm-hmm.
This one, I believe, was written, it was written by Sky Patterson. I have another one that I use that was written by a vet. And so, yeah, the more references, the better. So anyway, just had to share that about my little Luca.
Yeah. And Donna, she lives in Hackensack.
Oh, okay. What's her name?
Jan Jeremias.
Oh, write that down, Donna.
And she's in the group that I'm in, the Natural Life Business Partnership.
I might have met
with
her.
Denise. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you don't know Denise, you can get in touch with her.
I do know Denise. I actually met her for coffee. Sherry, she's the doTERRA Diamond I told you about.
Oh, that's that Denise.
I was so excited when I met her. I was like, Sherry, I'm going to go meet a doTERRA Diamond.
Yeah, that is so awesome.
So, as you can tell, Meryl, Sherry, and I are not in the Diamond State, but that is one of our goals that we are actually trying to work towards.
Yeah, one drop at a time, as they say.
So we get excited when we meet people who are, have gone.
Yeah, Donna and I get a little too caught up in not a little too caught up, but honestly, without sounding corny, I love talking to people about the oils, and when I see that they work, and I use them personally in my life. I just got I've been blessed with pretty good health to start with, and I just shoved all the meds out the door, and I just substitute them for essential oils whenever possible, headaches, congestion, anything like that. And I love telling people about it. I'm not as into the building and everything as I should be, I guess. But it is what it is.
Yeah. We do love to share, and it's really important to actually educate people on oils, because sometimes, I saw oils in the dollar store the other day. The dollar store, meaning, they cost.
Yeah. Yeah, meaning they cost $1. Yep, I get it.
I put my card over there and say, please contact me before you use these oils. But, of course, they would get mad at me if I did that. So.
And that's the frustrating thing, because if you've got inferior oils out there and people try them, then they get a very bitter taste in their mouth. Oh, they don't work, or they don't, whatever. Before we go on, Meryl, what is going on with your kitty cat? Does she have something that you spoke to your friend about the oils? Is something happening, or was it just for maintenance or wellness care for her?
No, I do. I want to pull it up on the text message that she sent me. Can I do that while
you bet.
Sure,
because I'm on my phone,
You can share your screen with us. So click on share screen and then find the message, and we can take a look at it.
Share.
Yeah,
content.
It should be down at the bottom there.
I have share content.
You can try that. You think that'll work, Sherry?
I don't know, because when you're on a phone, it might be a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Than if you're
You know what? It's a whole thing I have to set up. Hold on. I think I can do it. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Okay, in the meantime, while she's doing that, for our folks out there, I also found something very interesting. I went to a health fair, And it seems like the American Red Cross has animal safety emergency first aid kits. It's an app. So in case anybody ever wants to, I don't know, Sherry, can you see that right, or is it like up, backwards?
No, it's perfect. Mhm.
Oh, good. So I just wanted to show everybody this. I grabbed it thinking, oh, we're in a class on essential oils. So,
All right, I got it.
and show people. So perfect timing.
Okay.
Perfect.
Carol,
Yeah, I was able to still hear you
good.
while I was navigating around my phone, but I couldn't see you, obviously. So she,
I'll share that with you afterwards.
yeah. All right, so I adopted Sammy in November, and supposedly she was this wonderful cat, and immediately I brought her home, and she was very aggressive towards me, especially with food. And we worked together. It's like I'm talking to a human. We kind of worked together, I think, over about a month or so, and some of that definitely calmed down. But I knew she was supposedly grew up on the streets of Newark. Probably was fending for herself until she was about a year or so. She was found really sick and skinny, pregnant. But she was in 11th hour rescue for about 9 months and then in foster care before I got her. So I guess I kind of thought she would be a little bit more acclimated, but I guess not. And she had like a skin problem when I saw her. So my vet said, put her on like just a special diet. I have her on like good quality, only soft food, and which is duck and sweet potato, and then I only feed her for snacks baby food, believe it or not, because I can't give her regular cat treats. But over time, what I have found is that she still has this intermittent aggression when she gets scared. So she's attacked me many times, and it's not like a constant. It's not a constant attack, like where she's, like a tiger, or, it's just like a lunge. She'll scratch me and then she'll run. But obviously I freak out. So then I'm screaming at her, and then she's hiding under the bed, and then, it's this whole bad thing. So back and forth with my vet, she said, I would try, if you want to go natural, try like a natural supplement, which I did. And then I met Jan, and she said, oh, you should diffuse at least lavender oil. So I bought a diffuser, and I did that for a very short time because all this other stuff, I don't know, I got off the track with that, and all this other stuff started happening, with like different episodes of her attacking me. And then I said, well, I can't take this anymore. I got to put her on like a Prozac, because that was the next thing. So now she's on Prozac. And we had a really bad week last week. It had nothing to do with her aggression towards me, but it was all this other stuff happened. And then the doctor said, maybe we shouldn't have her on that. Maybe you should wean her off. And I said, well, and then I ran into Jan again, and she said, you didn't do what I told you, did you? And I said, no, I didn't. So then I said, well, I'm kind of at my wit's end. All right, let me try that again. So she recommended Juniper and Balance. So that's what's coming in the mail either today or tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but I don't know what to do with it. I mean, she said call her obviously when it comes in, but that's kind of the gist and where I'm at.
Oh, okay.
So Sherry, how do you recommend she uses her Juniper and Balance in the diffuser, or do you think that she should maybe apply it maybe on her belly?
I would apply, and maybe not on the belly, because she's not that the Juniper and Balance would hurt her if she licks it, but I would put it on the back of her neck, just kind of rub it down her spine. And I'm thinking in the beginning, maybe once a day, and do it every day, like every morning.
So my one quick question I have is, in the beginning, you mentioned something about diluting the oil with another oil.
Yes.
But you also mentioned that you dilute it with water. So why would you do one and or the other?
Really good question. Do you answer that, Donna, or do you want me to answer it?
You can jump on because you're the one with the pets.
Okay, that question is perfect. When you're spraying, applying the application of oils with a spray, it just comes out of the sprayer easier if you blend the oils with water. And obviously you need to shake them up really good because they're going to separate. But if you spray them, it works much better. I've done it with oil, whatever you're applying, but it just works better with the spray. On an application where you're going to put the oils with fractionated coconut oil or olive oil or whatever, I usually put it in a roller ball and then just either put it on my hand, because sometimes the roller ball will freak an animal out, especially your little kitty who has had a lot of trauma in her life anyway.
Right.
If it is applied to your hand and then you run it very gently along her back, then I think that would, you could try spraying it too if she freaks out about you rubbing her.
Yeah, I don't know about spraying
her back, but but that's
why.
Yeah.
I might even spray it on my hands too if I was you. But how about you guys? I don't know. This might be a little bit of me not having any knowledge, but like when I make a bug spray, like I made a bug spray recently for the Girl Scouts, I put witch hazel in there. Would that be, because it's like an astringent, would that be all right to put on their back, on their spine?
I've never done that, and that's a good question. I would research that though before you did it. Witch hazel's pretty neutral, but I've never heard about putting that on animals. So I would
about that on pets. I was just wondering, maybe I should have thrown that out there, but I was wondering because I did it for the kids, for the Girl Scouts when they went camping, and they just love this bug spray I've been making for them. So and that does have witch hazel in it. So I was just wondering if that would be okay.
Yeah, so in answer to your question, Meryl, I think for your little gal, I would blend it with fractionated coconut oil or olive oil. And it might, if you don't have a roller ball or something to blend it in at this point, and I would check with the gal that gave you the oil. She might have some great ideas for application, but personally what I would do is just put just one drop in your hand of each one of those oils and put 2 or 3 drops of your fractionated coconut oil, the dilution oil, put that in there, rub it all together, rub your hands together, and then just apply it very gently down to the back.
Yeah, I think
that's what I would do.
Yeah, that's great advice, Sherry.
Yeah.
So are you going to share anything with us on your screen, or should we move on to the PowerPoint?
We could move on to the PowerPoint, I think.
Okay, so I'm going to start sharing my screen again. And we're going to move on now to, actually, Sherry and I both got this. This is Mr. Ty Bollinger. He has a whole series on pet cancer, and we pulled a couple of things out in this section when he talked about pet food. So it's a good thing to add into our talk today about pets. And it's a little scary, but it's important that people realize, because I think that a lot of people, they just go to the store, they buy pet food thinking that they're buying good stuff. So how is pet food made? The food gets heated up to the point where it almost liquefies. Then it goes into a dryer. It gets dyed so the color looks good to our eye, and it comes out in pellets. Sugar in these pellets, which we all know is not good for our pets. So it comes out to be a minimum of 40% starch, which converts to sugar, 50% is carbs in total. This preparation process of the kibble causes inflammation, causes free radicals to accumulate, and damages the mitochondria and mutagenesis.
Bad stuff.
Really bad stuff. It gets worse too. That's the
Yeah. And Meryl, I don't know, like Donna said, this was a series that Donna and I both heard. Actually, Donna heard about it on Facebook and
one of my coaching sites that people.
okay, and introduced it to me, and it was I believe 8-day series, and it was phenomenal. And so much so, I saw this. We feed our dogs pretty healthy. I found out, thank goodness. But I changed my vet because of this. And so this was a real eye-opener, and it was called The Truth About Pet Cancer by Ty Bollinger. And he is on a mission to get people across the United States, vets. It was a phenomenal series. I learned so much. So that's why we really wanted to interject a few slides about this. And then if anybody's interested, then go online and find him. His name's Ty Bollinger, and
You can find it on YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
yes, on YouTube. He's phenomenal.
Okay.
Pet food facts. Source, Ty. Pet food that comes from rendering plants in Mexico, whatever that is, could contain spoiled meats, roadkill, moldy, and petrified fats. This could possibly be in your pet's kibble. Did you know that hypoallergenic hydrolyzed chicken equals chicken feathers? Watch out for the wording hydrolyzed poultry protein isolate. Byproducts could mean 4 different meats, yuck, dead, diseased, dying, or disabled cows, pigs, etc. Again, this is a word I'm not too familiar with, so I hope I don't slaughter it. Ethoxyquin.
I think you did good.
Did I do good? Okay. Ethoxyquin, a proven cancer-causing preservative, is commonly used for fish meal. If it is added on the boat while it's at sea, it does not have to be added to the label on pet food. That's terrifying to me. I'm like, really?
When I read this, I was shocked. And they just went on to say a little bit more, but the bottom line is that they will put it on the boat at sea, but unless they don't have to put it on the label, they only put it on the label if they do something with it once they're making the pet food, but they don't have to put it on the label if they put it on while it's at sea. So that's kind of scary.
That is
super scary.
Okay, so dogs and cats by nature are carnivores. While they can consume some grain, it is not really species appropriate. Grain-free is not the same as carb-free. The sugar and starches added in contain high carbs, which is not good for our pets. In nature, dogs and cats eat meat, organs, bones, and some plant materials. They leave the rest for the birds and the other scavengers. They actually know what they need from the animals. This is animals in the wild. And what they were saying in there was they know what to eat. It sounds kind of disgusting, but they know what to eat at the animal that is good for them. Like they'll get into the organs and get like the actual probiotics from the animal that they kill. So that's how they naturally get what they need and what they require. In nature, dogs and cats do not consume beets, corn, or other chemicals. So those are 3 things to keep, would be a good idea to keep away from when you're buying your pet food.
Here's some pet food facts. When purchasing pet food, stay away from soy, corn, grains, all GMOs, glyphosate, in parentheses, Roundup. It alters the microbiome, organisms in the body, which is the gut bacteria. Do give them organic, grain-free, meat-based dog or cat food with some veggie, as they should be eating some plant-based foods.
You want to tell everybody how you feed your dogs, Sherry?
Oh, okay. after I watch this, of course, I'm scrutinizing all the kibble that I give my dogs, the treats I give them. And fortunately, we didn't have any of these nasty things in the kibble. I always, as treats, give my dogs carrots, cucumbers. When I'm making my salad, I throw them some kale or lettuce or whatever. But they were saying in this series that some people are very pro raw food, and we don't really have enough time to talk about a kitty cat that I had that got cancer, but she wouldn't eat anything. So I started feeding her raw liver, and her tumor went away. So it's a long story, but that was kind of a testament to raw food. And some people believe that that is the only way to go. I'm not real sure. I'd have to do a little bit more research on kitty cats, but for dogs, what I've read, that a lot of people believe that is the way to go, as opposed to giving them kibble. It's very expensive, and the raw food that you give them, the meat has to be of a certain caliber. You can't just go down to the grocery store and grab, a steak or whatever, because you don't know what's in it, what the cow ate, any of that business. So to give them good raw food is super expensive. What you can do as an alternative, which is what I do, because I did a lot of research on raw food for my dogs, and it's hard to find. It's super expensive. I did find a gentleman up in Canada that has superior product, but he doesn't supply it here in the United States. So I thought, okay, well, what can I do? What they suggest is, if you can find a kibble for your animal that, or, wet, well, in this case, I feed them kibble, but in your case, Meryl, your kitty cat eats wet food. Right. So that's a good thing, because the kibble is just so dry and processed. You want to add something live back into it. So I rotate. I give them a little bit of breakfast and a little bit for dinner, and I put sliced up carrots. I chop up really super finely some kale, apples, what else? Cucumbers, whatever I've got laying around that's healthy. Again, you have to be careful, because some dogs can't, you can't give them avocados, you can't give them grapes. So you just can't, just because we can eat it, you can't throw it on their plate. But I put a topper on all of my dogs' food, and it's always raw. If I don't have anything raw, which would be rare, I'll give it to them if it's lightly steamed from the night before, but I feel better about that. And if it gets to the point, I can afford raw food, or it becomes more readily available, high quality, I might go that route. But right now, I feel really comfortable. I feed my dog Blue, our dog's Blue, which is has none of this business in it. And I put the raw food on top, just a little tiny bit, and I'm comfortable with that right now.
Okay, so this is
so.
So I don't know if you know who Dr. Furman is, Dr. Joel Furman, but he's a very well-known naturopathic doctor for us humans. So I love to follow. He's a wealth of knowledge. And they actually interviewed him for the Dog and Cat Pet series. So I just wanted to put a little blurb from what he said. And it was very interesting to me. When a dog or cat gets sick in nature, they fast. This is the way their body will repair and detox itself. This is because in non-fasting state, it is hard to repair tissues when it is processing all the nutrients in the food they're eating. So doctors do believe that fasting will actually help them to heal faster. So if your dog or cat refuses food, don't push them, because they know what they need. Just make sure, of course, that they're staying hydrated. And of course, make sure that your vet is aware. You always want to, make sure that your vet is aware of what's going on. So just moving on, I know, Meryl, that you have your oils, but this is for people out there who are interested. At doTERRA, we can have enrollment kits. We have wholesale memberships. You can get more product for less if you join the wholesale group. And you can also sometimes get free products with your points. It gives high rewards percentages. It's all good, right, Sherry?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's awesome.
Sherry will just.
How I get my frankincense, because they also have, and you, again, Meryl, this is for the people that haven't heard about this, so we're going to be kind of repetitive here for you, but we get product of the month if you have the LRP, which is another way that you can get your product wholesale. And at Christmas time, almost all the time, you get frankincense. So I'm like, yes, because frankincense is a little costly.
Right.
And I look forward to Christmas time because it's like, what do I need to buy so I can get my free frankincense from all of us, our family and our pups. So
yeah, because guys, you don't have to only buy enrollment kit. As Meryl knows, you could just buy a couple bottles as you need it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's not just enrollment kits, but you save a little bit of money on your membership if you do go for an enrollment kit. Any questions should be directed to me, and I'm happy to give you any information you need. And we have Meryl here today, so guess what? You get 2 roller bottles and a bottle of wild orange oil as a free gift to you, Meryl. Thank you very much for attending today. I do have a roller bottle, and I actually also have a spray bottle. Would you like one of each?
I'm not going to use this. Well, I guess I could use it on myself. I wouldn't use it on my cat.
Right.
I'll just one of each, not on her.
Extra. So, but make sure you guys contact, and if you sign up, you will get the same gift.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So I will email you afterwards, Meryl.
Okay.
We don't want you to give everybody out there your information. So.
My phone number is.
And just real quick before we end, and this could be for anybody, but I'm going to tell you about it, Meryl. I have one of my female dachshund is a hot mess. She's been a hot mess since the day I brought her home. Any annoying habit that a dog has, my little precious girl has it. She's got the submissive urination. She's afraid of everything. At Christmas time, we have a huge amount of people that come here to my house, and my vet recommended something that you might ask your vet about. It's a new product, and it's called, I think it's called Composure or Compose. And you can give it to your animal, and it's supposed to calm them down. It's a more natural approach, because when I went to my vet about calming her, because I've tried all the oils,
right?
I lather her in it, and I think it does help, but she's so out there that she will bark, and then she goes under the bed for days, literally. So anyway, my vet suggested Prozac, and I said, I really don't want to go that route. And she said, yeah, and she said, once you get them on it, I'm pretty sure she said Prozac, then there's the weaning process. And I said, yeah, I don't think so. Anyway, so she suggested this product. So you might check with your vet. I think it's called Composure, or
I wrote it down.
Composure or Compose. And it comes in a little, well, you can get it in all different sizes. And you give it to them, it tastes like liver or something. And so you might try that with your kitty cat. And, also I think it would be pretty easy for her to eat because it's soft. As far as how it would work on her insides, I'm not really sure, but it's pretty. I don't have a container of it anymore because I gave the whole thing to my little girl at Christmas time. But yeah, you might try that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So thank you for attending, everybody. Make sure If you have any questions, that you contact me or Sherry. Right here is the information, our email addresses, and our phone numbers are here, so feel free to let us know. And actually, I'm going to stop sharing. And bye.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you, Meryl.
You too. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'll be in touch with you afterwards.
Okay, great.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so I stopped recording.